What's up? It's your favorite Northern Belle, aka it's your girl Joy, and welcome back to another episode of So Hear Me Out, the podcast. Let's clear the air. Last week I did not post a episode. I was recovering from the time that I had at Norfolk State's homecoming, and I also decided that I needed a break from it all. So I decided to not post anything, but we're back and we are going to power and push through the rest of this year with different types of content and just so much more for you guys. So thank you for giving me a break. And here I am again. So hear me out. There's this trend that's been going on TikTok for a while. Follow me on TikTok, linked in my bio and down below if you're on YouTube. Excuse me. But talking about the soft girl era. Now, from what I gather, it is when a woman is walking in her femininity. I hope I'm saying that right. And she's allowing herself to be soft, gentle, experience things, and enjoy her everyday life and allow the stereotypical version of a man to be in a man's place and for her to be in a woman's place, setting boundaries and all this other stuff. And for me, a long time I've been thinking about, well, what is this soft girl era to me, right? What does that look like for me? What will that bring to my life if I decided to delve into the soft girl era? Now, everyone's journey is not the same. However, the only thing that I could continuously come up with was the struggles for me, a Black woman, to walk in this soft girl era. Now, not at all shading anybody, not to say that Black women can't do it, because what can't we do? But it's just something that sits on me. So for my personal experience, I just want to share a little bit of the struggle that I have with this entire trend and this, I want to call it a movement, this entire thing, right? For me, I was raised to, get it on my own. And not that I was forced to, but I was raised to understand the value of things and the value of hard work, right? My parents have worked 2 and 3 jobs at a time, and it wasn't just my mom, it wasn't just my dad, it was both of them getting it, right? So for me, for a long time, I felt like the equivalent to my value or my progression was dependent upon how many things I had going on in my life, right? We have this thing where being busy is, the top of everyone's list. That's how you show you're being successful, right? I'm booked and busy. I'm busy. I'm so busy. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm so busy. And for me, I could not function, right, without having multiple things to do, right? When I was in school, it was doing dance and singing and being involved in my church. So I always was busy. I always had to do something. I was always giving to something to add value to who I am. And when I got into college, it was, okay, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to do well, right? But I need something else. That's not enough. So joining different groups and organizations, being an RA, getting a job or two, and working my ass off was what I knew to be for me. I felt like I was more fulfilled when I had a lot of things going on. And then when I was out of college and was working one job, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym now. I didn't really love the gym at the time because of the difficult things that were happening when I went to the gym, right? We're going to talk about that another day. But, well, this could actually be a part of that topic, but we'll circle back. Circle back. Jordan, slow down. So then it was, okay, maybe I can get another job, right? So I was working 2 jobs at one point, and it was not the move for me. I didn't enjoy working weekends. I wanted my time. So I decided that once I got a big girl job, I was not going to work 2 jobs anymore. And I feel like that was probably my pivotal point in my soft girl era, right? Excuse me. Saying no to overtime, saying no to working 2 jobs, saying no to feeling the pressure of needing to do more to feel valued. And I finally decided I'm making enough money to be comfortable and to take care of my responsibilities. And I don't need to work two jobs. And for me, that was so big, right? Because I know my parents wanted to do so much more for me and to help out as much as they could. But because they know their child and I am a stubborn kid and I'm a stubborn person, I am not going to let people willingly help me. You're going to have to force your help upon me. So that was the beginning of the soft girl era. But like I said, being who I am and what I learned behavior for me was the more you're doing, the more valuable you are, right? Because then it's like, oh, well, I might have to pencil you in. And for me, I never took the time until a few years ago, 2 years ago, when I was like, okay, I don't need to be busy to pencil anybody in. I can just value my time. Also something that for me as who I am, imposter syndrome, right? I'm not deserving of the moment where I get to be the soft girl, where I get to walk in my feminine energy, where I get to do all these things. But it didn't feel genuine for a long time to be this person, right? To be someone who is just naturally zen, chill, letting things happen for me and to me. So I felt like, no, I'm not ready for that. Like, that's not who I am. And I don't know when it clicked or when it will fully click, but I just feel like I suffer with imposter syndrome and getting to know that part of this era, this movement, this thing, this trend. And another thing that I guess I'm working on is not being so strong, right? It is hard for me to open up to people, for me to willingly just give my life to everyone. And I feel like I do that here on this podcast, on this show, week after week. And I do this to give you guys a little more insight on my thoughts and my ideas. But it is hard to share these portions of your life because this is my real life, right? People like influencers and, people who share their life for a living. This is not a game. And as much as everybody wants to assume so, did y'all hear Milo? He's killing me, Smalls. For me, for a long time, the idea of sharing my life was so cool, right? But then I also thought, well, my life is boring. I don't want to share too much of my life. So how can I incorporate that with still being, confident and confidential and kept away from the mess and the nonsense? And I thank God that I haven't been in that portion of life where people outside of my direct circle know my life, but it's things like that that make it hard for me to share those things. I applaud women who are walking in their feminine era and their energy, and they allow these things to happen to them. And granted, yes, I'm not out here lifting heavy boxes for men or anything like that, because how dare I? But I'm also not fully there. But let's talk about the fact of it all systemically and, and things that have gone on with our culture as Black people. Women have held it down, right? And I'm fortunate enough to come up in a family where there are men and women in marriages, okay, not just relationships, and these men take care of their household. They do what has to be done. But let's be honest, outside of that, there are women and even women in relationships that are single mothers, and they have to hold down the fort. They have to take care of everything. And for me, I don't know if that's my fear or if that's a burden that I'm carrying for my gender, my specific niche of people, right? Black women, Black young women. Being able to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to make this happen, but knowing that there's other women out there who have to get it on their own, right? So I think that's something that's generational, learning to let go of those generational curses, right? Being able to walk in your feminine energy, being able to live in that moment is something that I think I'm working on. And I can't dismiss the fact that this is something real for somebody else, but it's not my job to bear anybody else's cross. But that is what happens. Also, when, for example, this week, literally this week, I went to the store and I had small talk with an older gentleman. He had to be at least 70, mid 60s, early 70s. And he said something to me that was very inappropriate. And I had to buck at him and put him back in his place because it was very disrespectful. And even when you're trying to be soft and you're trying to walk in this way and be polite and smile at the people, we all hate that one guy. Smile, beautiful. What is there to smile about? There are creeps like you in my face acting crazy, and it's not always them, but it happens. Like men at the club, oh, you just not gonna smile? No, I'm not. What are we smiling about? There's nothing to smile about. The older man, we had made small talk because I was being polite. We were in the store together. Not obviously together, but we were in the same vicinity. I made small talk, and when I was ready to check out, he walks up and he's like, all right, darling, I'll meet you at the car at the back seat. And I just looked, and it wasn't that I could have just, I could have brushed it off, but it was the fact that you tried it. So I politely told him, Grandpa Joe, I will break your insert word here kneecaps. Keep playing with me if you want to. And he proceeds to ask me, oh, well, where are you from? Hell, do you want to go? And I think that me trying to be a soft woman, me trying to walk in this era, this thing, I'm trying to work on my code switching because I have so many things personality wise, so many layers to where those things bother me. And I will address this probably in a different episode, but there have been times when men have made me so very uncomfortable where you don't want to be bothered by them, right? You want to be alone at all times and you want to put on this hard exterior so that they leave you the heck alone. And I think for me, there's no way to avoid that, right? When you are a woman, you're a beautiful woman, and you handle your business and you have this energy, this aura around you where you are that girl. Men sometimes feel intimidated by that, and sometimes they feel like they can be slick with that, especially older men. And it's hard to navigate that space because you want to be polite and you want to, polite, be nice, nasty, right? Put people in their space where they're supposed to be because they don't need to swerve over into our lanes. But it is also important to speak up for yourself. I'm trying to navigate that. And if anybody knows how, please tell me how you are navigating putting people in their place respectfully while not feeling like you didn't say enough for yourself. Now, granted, if the man would have went back and forth for me, he'd have been talking to himself or my pepper spray because we don't have anything to talk about. But I'm glad that he walked away and felt the energy of, oh shoot, I messed up. So I just think people need to allow themselves to see where they mess up. But also as women, it's a hard battle, to say, okay, I'm above this. I'm going to go live my best life and ignore all the negativity. And I'm going to go ahead and flourish. It is hard to say that and to do that when there are literal obstacles. Every time you turn around, it is something, right? It is always something from someone in your face adding some type of negativity. Even when you are trying your best to ignore it, here they come. And I want to do better in that point of just seeing the good in everything. But seeing good and being taken for an idiot is another thing, right? I'm not delusional. I'm not gullible. I'm trying to be positive. And I feel like that's another part of the soft girl era. There is a sense of delusion, right? For people like that, and they may call it manifestation, they may call it whatever they want, but there's a sense of delusion, right, that you need to fully flourish in this movement, this era, that things are going to work out for you perfectly without any flaw or any error, because I don't think that's realistic. And it's okay for me not to think that, because I come from a different background, a different walk of life. So for me, like, I can only speak for this person who is on this mic right now. I know for certain there's nothing wrong with walking in this movement, this era, this energy. I think I hold a lot of weight, and it's because of my past experiences that I don't ever want to be caught lacking like that, right? You're never going to play me like I'm dumb, and I'm never going to be caught looking stupid. So I think I'm holding so much in. And yes, this is probably a talk for a therapist, but hey, I got y'all. So I want everyone to pretty much define their own soft girl era, because is there a hard man era that they're going through right now where I'm going to be a stand-up man? I'm going to protect women at all costs. It doesn't matter if they look like me or not. I'm going to speak out against things. I'm going to stop my friends from treating women like shit. Like, is there a movement going on, or is that just the odd few? I don't know. Just something to think about. I think we need to cater and create these movements and these things and these eras and these auras specific to us. It needs to be catered to us, right? My soft girl era is, smiling every now and again, letting someone pump my gas, well, my partner pump my gas, letting him open the doors for me, and allowing it. And now certain things have become habit. Like, I won't open a door, I won't pump any gas, like I'll just look crazy when he's around. But for other things, I'll do it on my own. And I think my fear with this era is that I'm going to become dependent upon a man, and I wasn't raised to do that. So that's my spiel for today. I want to encourage everyone to develop their own era and to make it specific to you and cater to yourself. If you guys are living in your soft girl era, or you have any similar ideas or things like that, please comment down below. Let me know what's up with your soft girl era, if you notice this trend and what it means to you, because maybe I'm not seeing it right. I don't have the right definition. But you let me know, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about another topic next week. I'm so excited. But that's it for me. It's been real. I'm going to kick it with y'all next week, and have a safe and wonderful weekend. Okay, bye.